I know. Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome, Kathy Bell. Look at all the friends coming in, the tribe.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Oh, hi,
boy.
Jody.
Hi,
Mhm.
Jody. Hi, all. Welcome, everyone, to this conversation with Kathy Bell, breathwork facilitator and mentor. I've had the pleasure of being in breathwork sessions with Kathy, and it was my first time experiencing it, and it was part of this whole year has been like magical experience after another, but this was one of the pieces that really told me something I had no idea about, what that that our minds can see new things through our bodies, or that everything really is connected.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Mm.
I
Our
had no
minds
idea.
can see things. I need to write that down. Our minds can see new things through our bodies. Oh, May, that's incredible.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I never feel articulate, but I'm glad that was helpful. I was raised kind of like, I say, like brain on a stick. It was very, immigrant culture was just like, be smart, fill your brain, go to school, prove that you're good at school. That's the only people that really matter, the ones who endorse you through school. And so be successful so you can be safe.
Yeah.
Nothing really wrong from it, but really it was very
Mm.
incomplete.
Yeah.
So this whole journey of body and mind has
Mm.
been so rich, and I feel really baby on the path. So grateful to know you and have experienced that with you.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm so grateful to have facilitated that for you. So, yay.
We're going to get into story after story, I'm sure, of how you
Mm,
have impacted people similar ways that I have felt. So I
okay.
love to start out with, would you mind tell us how you started your business?
Yeah. So I was a secondary school teacher and I had my daughter in 2011. And as soon as I had her, I knew had her. Like I had her. I birthed her.
Yes. As soon as she
As soon as
came
that
down
happened.
from heaven into body form. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So yeah, as soon as I gave birth, I knew that there was something more that I was supposed to be doing. And I was never really comfortable in that role as as a secondary school teacher. Not in that system, not in the school system anyway. And I that set me on. So her birth and various other things that were happening in my life set me on a bit of a healing journey and personal growth journey. And I found myself longing to work for myself. I found myself longing to be free. That was freedom was the real pull. And I hated commuting, all of the things. Like I hated commuting. I hated leaving my home. I hated being in this system that I didn't feel I could ever be successful in. And
Mm.
one day I decided to have my note. I decided I was going to be self-employed, and I didn't really know what that entailed, but I decided to hand my notice in, and I trained to be an EFT practitioner, and
EFT
this was
stands
my
for what?
emotional freedom technique. So for those people who don't know, emotional freedom technique or tapping, it was transformational for me. And without all of the details at that time as well, I got myself a mentor and she used EFT with me. And she was also a trainer. And it was so transformational for me that I felt so called to do that too. I really felt like I'd found a calling. I'd always wanted to help people. So, yeah, I handed my notice in. And without much real consideration, um, I I set up as a self-employed business, sharing EFT. Um, I'm a manifesting generator, so I tend to love all of the things. And I also, at the same time or similar times, trained to be a teen yoga teacher. And so I was balancing this um, teen yoga business and this EFT one-to-one therapy business. And it was very much a fumble, if I can use that word. I really had no clue what I was doing. In terms of business, I had no business experience. I'd always been employed. And so it was this huge personal healing journey and growth journey at the same time as, using this fuel and passion inside to help people.
You know what I want to say? Was it really a
Yeah.
fumble? Because it was a huge healing time.
It,
I
it,
would love
it
a reframe for the fumble.
yeah, well, those, days and weeks and months where I was sat in my kitchen going, what do I do now? Kind of thing was that felt like a fumble. Um, learning all of this businessy stuff that I had no real desire to learn, but I had
Mm,
to get me through, even
mm.
doing my own tax and that kind of thing was that certainly felt like a fumble. But no, the actual breadcrumbs, so to speak, the little
Yeah.
nuggets along the way, they felt very, is the word serendipitous, or they felt very aligned, you know.
Mm.
Um like I'd been thinking to myself, I really want to still work with teenagers, but I don't want to teach. And then I just, when you're scrolling and you just come across something and it's like, oh, and you click, 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 and then before you'll know it, you're booked onto a course. It was
Yes.
one of those things,
Well,
like
a
I just
searching
happened
time.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just happened to find the teen yoga course. I never set out to do that, but it just seemed to fit in the breadcrumbs, like I say, those breadcrumbs, those little nuggets of those like bookmarks
They
moments.
led
Yeah,
you piece
yeah,
by
it led me.
piece in a way that you didn't. I mean, this is what I have a post-it here that says, don't wait until you see the whole staircase. Just take each step one at a
Yeah.
time, which
Mm,
really comes back to a bit of what I experienced with you. One way to say it is trusting your intuition, right? Those
mm,
breadcrumbs. I mean, that word even sounds kind of small. They're really like, oh, I just followed the diamonds. I mean, I followed the right,
yeah.
because it was right. It wasn't random because you
No.
are a
Yeah.
person that is,
Mm.
I don't know manifesting generator, but I can imagine this is human design, right? Is that
Uh-huh. Yeah.
a
So yeah,
category of human
there's just
design?
a lot of things. There's just a lot of ideas always popping off in my head, and
Of
yeah,
course.
but the diamonds were, yeah, like you say, looking back, it was absolutely laid out for me perfectly. Yeah,
Exactly. Isn't that
perfect.
incredible?
It's just the bits in the middle that feel like the fumble. So it's yeah, yeah.
They feel like a fumble. No, no question. I mean, you and I are in a coaching container where we get to feel all of our fumbles and just say it out loud and have people feedback kind of the
Mm,
bigger picture of
mm,
not just this moment, right? But can see ahead
yeah,
and can witness the past too for each
yeah.
other.
Like time is such a yeah. Like looking back, yeah, it's just incredible. So, mm,
And now you're the person who experienced something like I had. I didn't see it at the time, but now I know it was perfect.
mm, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I think that's quite a story that anybody wants to hear. I, in fact, sometimes think like maybe that's my story. Like, just being the age that I am. How do I describe this? You know, we have these titles, like
Mm,
job titles to help people understand, but really, I'm like, how do I explain that I am just a person with a life experience that is a
Mm,
witness of hope for people.
yeah.
Everything you said, I'm really,
Mm,
really just like celebrating you as a person who said there was a day that I just knew I'm to be self-employed and I handed in my notice. You're not like, not everybody has that. So
no.
celebrate that.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. I forget. We all forget our achievements. So thank you for reflecting that.
Just that takes courage, that and it's called courage because not everybody has it, right? There's the rest of us who are like, I know what I should do. Oh, I really hate it, but I got to keep doing it because I don't see the whole thing. You're the
Oh,
opposite. You
uh,
jump
yeah, a
in.
little bit. A
And
little
I
bit, yeah.
mean, at least in that case, you were the opposite. And of course, we have different pain points from where
Mm,
we come from, right? So you were
mm.
in the like free fall feeling, and I'm just in the stuck feeling. Like both are painful, right? But
Both,
both
yeah.
of us find the diamonds and keep
Mm,
going. Isn't that
so
all we
true.
have?
That's
Yeah.
all you have, that's all we have, isn't it? Yeah,
It is
keep
all we
going.
have. Yeah. I mean, the only
Yeah,
way to lose is to just lay back and go, forget it, right? Like, you just keep
totally.
looking.
Totally.
So,
Mm,
celebrating you
mm.
there. Uh,
Thank you.
what is your greatest joy in this work that you've built for yourself?
So I feel like I just want to continue that story just for a
Yeah.
moment.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. Go ahead.
and then, because if I just launch into breathwork, it will be like, well, how did you get from
Yes.
that to that?
I'm sorry.
And so
I skipped.
that's okay. I stopped speaking. I was like, no, that's it. You're going to get one chapter at a time. So,
It's a
so
great
yeah,
book.
so from there, there's this manifesting generator in me who does something until the energy drops. And as soon as the energy drops, I need to move on. And so teen
Mm,
yoga had a really huge part of the beginning part of my story, my business story. And EFT kind of dwindled quite early on because I'm highly sensitive and empathic, and that kind of I was doing a lot of the EFT on in person, so it wasn't online as it so
mm,
easily and naturally is now. Um, and I'm very, very empathic. And at that time, I had no awareness of my own energy and the integrity of my container, my sacred container,
mm,
and kind of protecting that and keeping that. So, keeping that intact. So I would overgive and overshare and energetically be very, very drained. So I had to let go of the EFT quite early on, even though it was hugely transformational for me. And then along came various other things, but mainly breath work. And I
mm-hmm.
was introduced to breath work, the normal pathway. So, lots of yoga, lots of pranayama. I even did, I don't know if they had that in the US. Although they do. It's called the happiness program.
I've
There's,
heard
there's
of
a,
it, but it is not, I think, everywhere in the yoga studios
yeah,
around
no,
here.
yeah. And that was a breath-based discipline. And I just was obsessed with how I could change my mood, change my physiology, um, with these different breath techniques. And I came across teacher Madeline Giles, who was offering angelic breath, which is the same. It's the same. It's not the same, but it's the same techniques, the same lineage as a technique that you've experienced with me. And I just fell in love just through the artwork, just through the squares on Instagram. Like when Instagram was Instagram, I would see an image and I would just know there were, and again, another
Wow.
one of the breadcrumbs. I have to do this. This is where I'm supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
this is the not this is the thing, but this I need to
This
be
is the
at
next
this.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I started taking classes online with Madeline, and again went on maybe a 2-year healing journey within that time. And this is still teen yoga was going on in the background. And I wanted, I knew after about 2 years I really wanted to train in breathwork and do that myself. But the training was all in America. It was all, it was just it was almost impossible. So this is like
Hmm.
2017, like 17,
Yeah.
2017, 2018. And I just knew that I was going to be a breathwork facilitator. Like I just knew it. I didn't know how,
Mm.
I didn't know when, but I just knew it. And I kept that faith and that trust. And then one of the other teachers who teaches breathwork training is Erin Telford. She's another one of my teachers. Madeline was like, I would periodically ask Madeline, like, are you going to run any trainings? When's the And she emailed me one day just to say, Erin's coming to the UK. You should get on a training. I know you really want it. So 2019, I finally booked my breathwork training, and I was like, this is the thing. Like, this
That
is
you
it. Like,
that you had
I'm there.
seen all along,
Yeah,
right?
I've
Coming.
seen it. I've seen it.
Hmm.
I knew it in my bones, and I think that's one of the greatest gifts that breathwork has given me. Coming back to the question, what is my greatest joy? This is one of the
Yes.
things like, I knew with certainty, and I only knew with certainty because of the breathwork. Like because of the
Mm.
breathwork that I've done, it was anchored in my intuition. It was anchored in my body. I'd been shown it so many times. I'd heard it so many times. I'd seen it. I'd felt it all through breath and all through the sessions that I'd taken. And yeah, and then I always wanted to do the group training, and that happened amazingly because of the pandemic and all of the training going online.
Right.
So I'm really, when everyone was, really devastatingly and understandably upset about the pandemic, the main benefit for me was that I got to do my group training because
Right.
still the group training was all in America, and Erin came to do the individual training, but not the group training. So yeah, it was again, I just didn't know how, I
Right.
didn't know when, but I knew I was going to be a
And
group
then,
facilitator. And then it happened. And so
yeah.
yeah, the greatest joy does come through these when people get these downloads that are so clear for them, and I can see it in their faces, in the way they speak, in the energy that they give off when they get a download that they just and that clarity that they know that something's going to work out for them, or that
Mm.
something that they've been really confused around or troubled about all of a sudden becomes really clear.
Yeah.
um I had a lady in a group session recently. She wasn't one of my clients. I'll tell the story really briefly so as not to give away anything, but
Mm.
she'd had a traumatic experience and then it was
Mhm.
affecting something in her life, and she hadn't married the two things together until she had this breathwork session. And she was like, I can't believe I can see so clearly how that has been
You go
impacting
together.
this. And now I get to untangle that and change the situation now for the better. So those those are the moments that really bring me the greatest joy. That the business, and the modality that is used within the business gets to facilitate that
Hmm.
that level of clarity for people. Um, yeah, and sometimes the most amazing business ideas have been downloaded through people, and again, like their certainty that that business idea will happen just makes
It's
me,
huge. It's a
yeah.
huge pack of energy that they can take
Mm,
into every day. This is, as
mm,
the business coach side, it's so easy to get bogged down in the details. And people come to me to fix the details, and I'm always like, let's get to the thing under the thing under the thing under the thing. And it is that certainty, really, the fire inside.
yeah.
And amazing that you get to deliver this. I mean, I just
Yes. Oh,
pictured it like a diamond, like something
oh,
tangible.
yeah.
Before everything in the business is tangible. There is something somewhat tangible download wise that people get to
Mhm.
hold and power every day.
Yeah.
I want that. I need
Mhm.
more of that. I have found different ways to fill that, and I think it's so
Yeah.
important. But yeah, more better. More power, more
Yeah.
better.
More clarity. Oh,
More
yeah, more
clarity.
that exactly. Just that clarity, that certainty, that trust. I think it's trust as well.
Yes.
That yeah, is given and delivered through the practice.
Okay. And since we're on it, I'm thinking about um, how does it work? So maybe I'll ask like this. How has been your experience going from in person to online delivering breath work?
Yeah, I've been in a bit of a mix with all of that because yeah, my training in 2019 was right at the beginning. So I had the whole of 2019 to practice in person breath
Right.
work, which was incredible and terrifying and amazing and terrifying all at the same time. But
Yes,
it was
yes.
individual, you know, it was just one on one. So it was
Right.
yeah, really intimate and I formed a lot of it's a really beautiful experience. And but then yeah, the group training happened in lockdown. And so then I went straight ahead and straight into, because that's the kind of person I am, into
Mm.
holding groups online. So the first, actually, we mentioned this, we spoke about this the other day briefly. The first group that I held was at the end of 2020 when um the what were they called? The rules, you know, the COVID rules were relaxed and
Yeah.
we were allowed to gather
Oh,
outside. And
right. Mm-hmm.
I held a, a space for like five of my closest friends on, we were on like a little mini retreat in these yurts in
Wow.
Glastonbury. And so,
Wow.
yeah, that was my first in-person group. And it was, yeah, it was a beautiful way to do that. And so now I have this mix, mainly online, which is
Mm.
incredible because I get
Mm.
to work with so many incredible people. And, you know, in person, just it's kind of come in little fits and starts. But yeah, it's very different experience in person than it is online.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's, you know, it's streamlined online. It's like, you know, everything's so slick and set up, and I'm just really well drilled and practiced with it.
Mm,
And
good.
so it becomes just really a natural thing. But
Good.
I do miss the bodies, and
Yeah.
I miss the just being able to, you know, apply a little oil to someone's, you know, someone's crown or someone's third eye, or,
Oh,
you know, just to help ground them at the end by just touching their feet, you know, just that human contact is,
I think
yeah, I
that
miss
bit
that
of
a lot.
touch would just like I would just be falling apart if I wasn't already, which I definitely also experienced the emotions, but yeah, the bit of touch.
Mhm.
I just ask because I think we are in an interesting moment, at least here in California on September 26, 22. It feels like the in-person thing is surging, and I use that word, it's a word that we've used all these 2 years with
Mhm.
COVID. I mean, people are like, please let's get
Thanks.
out in person. And I feel it too. And yet I'm navigating this new culture. And
Mm,
I am, my business name is called Real Life Oakland. I love the in person and I love how you said I miss the bodies
mm,
because
yeah,
we are bodies, right?
mhm, yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I've come more into the importance of our bodies, but I also had in person brick and mortar business all those
mm,
years before this coaching moment that I started in pandemic. And I know the what's possible in person is all of these surprise interactions that you didn't plan because you had a Zoom link sent to you at a certain time, that kind of thing.
yeah,
They get to be more diamonds that we don't expect.
Mm.
Anyway, thank you for sharing your experience there.
You're so welcome. No,
So, what's a business challenge that you're facing right now?
you know, it is the challenge that I face right now is I think direction. That is the biggest, I think, for any business owner. Which direction do I go in? Especially, I think we're all multi-passionate and we're all multi-talented, whether you're a manifesting generator in human design or whether you're not, we all have these um multi-passions. And I think for me, it is trusting the direction that my soul wants to go in. And that's really hard because it's not logical and it's not straightforward. And I'm kind of like, feel like I'm in that washing machine space again where, oh, everything's going to
Yeah,
change.
churn.
Oh, and what is
Yeah.
everybody going to think? And how is, everybody knows me for doing this, and will this be any good? And all of that kind of, yeah, a washing machine of doom, which I don't want
Hmm.
to be in. But yeah,
No.
so I think the direction and the trust or the trust in the direction, like following my heart, like really, and the like following the essence and energy of the business. Where does the business want to go? Rather than what looks neat and perfect and what is logical and what will kind of get me put me in a position where I can retire when I'm 55, like all instead of making decisions from that place, making the decisions from I think I want to go and do something really fun, like I think I want to burn that down and start something new. So yeah, that's the challenge that I face. And I'm not confusing my audience, like not confusing people. Or I think that still is in the washing machine of doom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, trust in the direction and not listening to the multitude of fears that come up when you feel a call to a different thread or a different strand of business. And also,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is very cathartic actually. Also, gathering in person. You were saying like there's a surge for people to do it. I'm like, there is, but something's not quite like there's a cog missing in my wheel. So I can get
You
people
mean
on
in
a
terms of excitement about it, your own excitement about gathering?
I'm excited about it. I can get people in a Zoom room, like no chance, no worries. Like get people in a Zoom room, but getting people where I currently live, like location, I think can be a real challenge for that in-person business growth. And I even come down to I've changed my mind about this, but I even come down to venues and location. So that could be a real challenge for a small business, a one person business who, wants to have your space every, once a month. And, or try to find a space that's, reflective of the transformation that you can hold and offer. Like, I don't always want to just pull people into a church hall, that's,
Mm,
kind of a bit kind of meh, I want
something
to
not
find a
aligned.
real, yeah, so just finding beautiful aligned spaces to gather people in person that just feel really inspiring and are reflective of
Mm.
where yeah, me and my business. So yeah,
So maybe that's
location.
the cog that's
Hmm.
missing so far.
Yeah,
But other than
yeah.
that, in person sounds like a fun call direction.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Mm.
excited for you. Here we
Thank
are
you.
on a platform with thousands, millions of people
Mm.
calling in a
Yeah.
location and whatever that means, right? Because that's the maybe the whole staircase or part of the staircase, and then knowing that you're going to see the breadcrumbs that are actually diamonds leading you to
Yeah,
that.
maybe I'm not supposed to find somebody else's location. Maybe I'm supposed to find my own. Like,
Or
yeah,
bing, here's the location. It just
yes.
so happens, I mean, I love my work. I love these conversations, but I just had a similar location wobble. Like I had
Mm,
like part of my whole story is that I used to be a homeowner and then I divorced and then the house was all part of the fight and I lost my home.
yeah.
And I've been in rental situations since then. And I'm this time, I'm 1 year in this spot. This is the first time I've bought adult furniture and painted my house whatever color I felt like. And it's not to blame anybody. This is some of, right, my own deciding.
Mm, yeah.
Anyway, I'm just saying I've had also, right, just this past week, like, do I get to host things here? Is this good enough?
Mm,
And
mm,
then kind of looking outside, but trying not to give away my power about what's possible. Everything is fine, right? Like that
mm.
church basement in some ways, it's okay too, right? That's not, but you get to want
Yeah,
different, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
absolutely. Yeah,
duality
I
again.
made that decision. I could hear myself making the decision that finding a location was hard. And so I did, I spoke to a friend and I was like, I'm going to stop making that decision. Like finding a location's amazing. It's easy
Yes.
and there's an amazing location just around the corner.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I went for a walk with a friend and she told me about some urban spa that has a yoga studio. And I was like, oh,
Urban
okay.
Spot Yoga Studio. Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh,
So yeah. As soon as I think that like you say, that decision making is yeah, it can be part of the problem. And yeah, am I going to make the decision that changing direction has to be hard? Am I going to make the decision that, I'm going to confuse my audience if I start doing something new? Yeah, so
a
it's
lot of
definitely,
voices talking, right? A lot of voices that are trying to
yeah.
protect you.
Mhm.
Mine is called Maud.
Oh,
If I'm in my
Maud.
good space, I say, "Thank you, Maud. I know you mean well. I
Oh,
got
I love
this."
you talk to her. That's so beautiful.
She's like a well-meaning auntie that wrings her hands, and it's meant in love. And the truth is, I hear my father's voice. I hear the my whole Chinese people culture wringing their hand. But I just have to say, I know you love me, and I got this.
Mhm,
The
mhm,
voices. But it
mhm,
really, I mean, the truth is, it takes me, I mean, I'm in the washing machine of doom more often, longer than I need to because I don't even really remember, oh, that's Maud talking. That's not the whole
mhm.
truth
Yeah.
of, it's not the truth
Mhm.
talking. So yeah,
Yeah.
most of what if I can reflect anything that back to you that might be helpful, even from the start, you're saying, oh, I'm here again. And I just kept thinking, but you just told the story of your, to me, total
Yeah.
victory from the here again. You know what I mean? From the,
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
know, but I'm
Oh yeah. I
jumping.
I think and I trust me, this one has been so much more gracious because of that knowledge that the breadcrumbs they've never let me down. They've never let me down the wrong path. And yeah, I don't have to figure it out. Like I don't have to know it now. I just have to keep taking those little steps and being present in the day with whatever's in front of me. And soon, and also, I think Susie, so the coaching container that we're in, Susie's
Right.
definitely taught me that the the more willing you are to let go of having it all figured out in the moment, the quicker you get to that place where you can look back and go, oh, that's
Yes.
why.
Made us
So,
be so. I need
yeah,
this.
you'll get there
I
eventually.
need
It's
this to
just how
rain
quick.
down on me. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
you're always
is
going to get there. But
practice.
yeah,
Isn't it
it is. It
practice?
is.
I mean, the
And
more
courage, for sure.
courage and trust and
Mm.
all of those things. But 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 even to see it as a possibility.
Mm.
Vicky, Faith, somebody just gave us hearts. Thank you all for joining in, all of your tribe here. Um, yeah, just to recognize, oh, this is not really a wall. It's a door.
Mm.
It's a choice, right? It's a possible future life that we get to choose. And oh, trust. I mean, I don't know about you, but like I would trust what Kathy Bell says because your intuition is right. It's been
Thank
right.
you. Yeah, and but only because of the breath. Like
The breath.
always come back to that. The courage to breathe again, like the courage to lay down and do it again and face that discomfort. That's been if you were to ask how, like how, that's the how, it's, and it's not always been breath, it's definitely been other modalities and they've generally been body based, movement and intuitive dance and just
I
other,
need them
even
all.
even walking, like even taking a big long walk, being in nature, exercise, it's
Yeah.
all been body, it's been through the body that certainty and that trust can be felt.
I need more of this. And yes, walking is one way that I've done it. And through Susie, I think quantum flow, I did
Mhm.
as I was
Yeah.
walking, and I still have a
Mhm.
tangible sort of like certainty image.
Mhm.
I'm very visual. I was an architect. I still am an architect.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I get these images, that feels almost like as real as it is, like it's real today, even though it's a future
Yeah.
projection. But yeah,
And
I've experienced
that's
that.
the thing about intuition, isn't it? It's so different for all of us, and a vision for you would be so different for me. Like I would probably feel and hear it. It would be
Interesting.
confirmed to me. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think intuition's you know, a whole other topic, but definitely um it plays such a huge role in business, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is where I call myself an alignment coach. Align with your authentic self. Who
Yeah.
is that authentic self? At any moment, it's somebody new in some ways, which is the joy of being alive, not static.
Mhm.
And it's sort of can feel tiresome or relentless, but you get to ask over and over again. Today May. I talk about today May gets to be this and not worry
Mhm.
about yesterday May. And maybe that's a word for you too, right?
Mhm.
Today, Kathy Bell, come with me, trust me. But today, Kathy Bell came from yesterday, Kathy Bell. And we're going to
Mhm.
become tomorrow, Kathy Bell. It's awesome. Come
Mhm.
with me. I
Yeah.
I can just picture, right? People like they trust you. They love you. They've gotten transformation. They're going to keep following you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Jesse says, "Be still and simultaneously dynamic." Isn't that
Mhm.
the thing? This duality, I think, has been my whole big picture of the
Oh
challenge
yeah,
and the
yeah, for
gift
sure. Yes, the
this year.
duality of that, stillness and
And swim.
dynamicness, that thing. Yeah.
Whew. Swim.
Mm.
Swim movement toward, picking up the diamonds without pressure, without, for me, self-flagellation of not moving faster. That's been my
Mm. Oh,
my journey.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I know what's true. It's safe to be you. as you are today.
Mm, mm,
This has been delightful. Thank you so
mm.
much, Kathy, for
You're so
bringing for
welcome.
your light here.
Mm.
Um, I love to end with what would you call people to for working with you, or maybe just in life, and then if they want support to work with you.
Um, mm, I think there's a theme right now in my life about talking and being open and vulnerable to share what's truly happening for you. I have a friend and we speak often about our triggers and finding spaces. Like we talk about how we trigger one another. So we're like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit like this, you know, but it's having a safe space and a safe person or a safe group of people to be to feel like you can be heard and seen and listened to exactly as you are, like knowing that you are never alone, and you don't need people to not feel alone because when you belong to yourself, you're never going to be alone.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think this point, like I say, it's swimming in my mind, but if I could leave people with a message, it would be to know that you're never truly alone.
Hmm.
Even when you're alone, you're never alone. Um, and there's a whole, I could speak about that, but I won't.
Yeah, I could speak a whole bunch about how that's exactly what I want to believe, need to believe, sometimes believe, and when I
Mm.
don't, I'm a I'm a messy, teary person.
Yeah, yeah, like there's
Yeah.
just, you know, there's, we're always, we're always, um, we're always supported by the divine because we are the divine. And so whether you call that source or universe or God or angels, like that is you. And it's taken me a long, long time to really believe that. And I think nature, again, is another beautiful place to have that reflected back to you. But yeah, you're never truly alone. And when you're on that journey to get to that place, or to learn or to understand, not to get there, but to learn or understand that more and more for yourself, to find a community, to find people, to find a person that you can be open and vulnerable and honest with about what's happening in here. So I think we hold our fears, we hold our thoughts, we they're shameful or we're embarrassed of them or we're scared about being judged, and I think that is a barrier to connection because truly we're more similar than we are different. And so, I mean, my biggest thing that I have to share with the world right now is my membership, my Breathwork membership, where we gather twice a month to breathe and, yeah, to be seen and be heard and to have that self-healing experience just in the comfort of our homes, with a group of women. Really, they're all women, and
Are men invited or no?
not absolutely invited. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
okay.
do, I do just tend to just have. They're not excluded,
Yeah.
absolutely not excluded. But yeah, it just that's what it is now. And yeah, who are all navigating this. We call it lead the liberation, and so
Okay.
I often say, being a business owner in this space is a singular, often lonely place. And
Yes.
so, I often say that the women who are called to be in the membership are leading a liberation of their own, and they need a space to land and be held and, just let every be. to arrive at that space and be able to let everything go and just
Mm,
be open and authentic and vulnerable and be with their bodies, be with themselves, be with their intuition, be with their dreams, be with their sadness, be with their pain. Um, yeah, so we're a community of conscious business owners, I would say, and yeah, I help I facilitate breath work, um, yeah, twice a month to just help that journey
okay.
to evolve. Mm.
So there's breathwork time and then also talking, connecting time, or
Yeah,
is
we
it
have.
happen? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have. I mean, it would be similar to the classes that you have shared,
Yeah.
with me. Just depends on how many people are there live.
Right.
It determines how much sharing we can do because obviously there's a time. People, don't want to be online for 2.5 hours. So we have a time limit. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's always when I say there's space, I sometimes think you don't always need to share actually
Yes.
verbally. You can just
That's what I
arrive in a
wondered.
space and
It can happen.
energetically just
Yes.
have that feeling that you are, loved and taken care of in that space, and you are for that hour and a half able to put everything down and drop all the barriers and just be authentically yourself, whether you speak on camera
Got it.
or even speak at all. So yeah,
Again, speaking with your body in some ways,
yeah,
right? It doesn't
yeah,
have to be the
yeah.
brain talking, ear processing. It's just presence.
Mm, mhm. Yeah,
Hmm, thank you. All right, so
you're welcome.
follow you here on Instagram at
Mhm,
least, Kathy
mhm.
Bell. And then is that the best way to get in touch with you to start
Yeah,
the
I would
conversation? Okay.
I would say Instagram's the best place. Yeah. Mm.
Thanks so much, Kathy. It's been beautiful to spend this time with you. And,
You're so
we're
welcome.
in that coaching container, Facebook. We can really get these one-to-ones. So this has just really filled my soul. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for your tribe. So many of your people. I don't know who has been your people or who just found us, jumped in, but we
Yeah,
had a
we've
great,
had
great jumping
Rachel.
in. Yes,
Yeah, Rachel's
Ellen.
looking amazing.
Ellen's here and Jesse. Those are my people. In fact, Jesse is one of the people that I feel like I can just take the mask off and
Mm.
oh, it's been really,
Oh,
really
hi,
beautiful.
Jesse.
Yes.
Amazing. Mm.
Thanks so much, Kathy. Have a great rest of your evening in
Oh yeah, yeah,
Glastonbury.
getting straight into bed. Huh?
Thanks.
What?
What where's your pin on the map?
Oh,
Where are
I'm
you
in Sheffield.
Sheffield. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're North England-ish, kind of in the middle though. So yeah.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
you're in California. That makes me a little bit jealous right now.
Do you know that part of my wealth is renting my first place with a second bedroom? It's a guest room. You are invited.
Oh, yes, please.
Make a
That would
trip.
be
And I'm
incredible.
like really like less than 20 minutes to San Francisco, across the Bay Bridge. It's a beautiful land. I love it. I really love, and I honestly
Okay.
heart Oakland also. So
Well, I'm
come
going to take you up on that offer for sure.
too. Yes, yes. Bring your people too. There's plenty of room.
Mm. Mm.
Come
Thank
on
you, my
over.
love.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.